Hello, everybody. It's that time again. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Congratulations to, I seen some of the ladies did some uh, marathons this weekend. I know Miguel did the New York Marathon. Omar did the New York Marathon last week. Congratulations to you guys. It's pretty amazing stuff. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. Just wanted to go over this week's workouts and explain the way the training protocol is supposed to be going. So it makes it easier so everybody can kind of view this, hopefully. So Monday, we're going into week 8. And starting off with the strength movement is the deadlift. Speed, you can see it actually went up to 70% every minute on a minute. You're going to be doing 3 repetitions, 8 times. So the coach is going to call it out every minute on a minute. You're going for speed, but on the other hand, make sure that your setup is perfect every single time on the deadlift. We're starting to go a little heavier. Speed equates into strength. So if you're pulling off the floor very fast, it kind of prevents you from getting caught in any kind of sticking points when you start going into the heavier loads, when you start maxing out, because we're going to be trying to do a max out here in a few weeks. So we're building you up to it. Conditioning, 3 rounds at 95%. I try to put percentages in there, but to be quite honest with you, a lot of you are going to be probably pacing a little bit more than 95%. Which is fine. It really just depends on where you're at, what level you're at. You can see there's several movements involved. 20 ring dips, which many of you are going to have to modify that. I don't want you doing like one dip at a time. You can use the bar dips, or what is actually pretty difficult too is using the boxes. Put the plyo boxes together, and you could do like a seated dip. Those are actually really good. We haven't done dips for a while, so I'd say be careful on these. You're probably going to get pretty sore, so don't be afraid to just go ahead and do the dips on the boxes. So you're going to do 20 dips. Make sure that when you are doing your dips, make sure that you're going down deep enough to where your bicep, tricep, your upper arm is actually going parallel. So you almost want to get down deep enough to where your armpits kind of get into where your hand is. I don't know if that's explaining it better, but you want to get deep in these dips. If you set up the boxes properly, you might even be able to set it up to where your butt will either come close to the floor or touch the floor. So just make sure you do the dips nice and deep and lock them out on the top. The box jumps, 24-inch or 20-inch, you're doing 20 box jumps. Careful on the rebounds. I'm a big fan of stepping down, to be honest with you. We don't need anybody to get any kind of a Achilles heel injury. 20 pull-ups, they're just regular pull-ups. If you got to modify, you modify. Then 20 burpees. So when you see a rest ratio 2-to-1, that means however long it takes you to do this circuit, look at the clock. If it took you 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever, you're going to rest double that amount. So if you get off and it takes you, say, 3 minutes to get through this, okay, you're going to rest 6 minutes. And then when that clock gets to 9, you're going to jump back on and do your second round. So as you can see, there's 3 rounds. If it's taking way too long, then you didn't modify properly. You should scale back so you're going to be able to get through this, and it's not going to take you 45 minutes. The coaches will be on top of that, I'm sure. As we move on to Tuesday, the strength movement is shoulder press. Try to go up 5 or 10 pounds from the last time you'd done a shoulder press. I think you did 4x10 a few weeks ago. Now you're going 4x8. Strict shoulder press, no knee bend. You guys know the points of performance on the shoulder press. Conditioning segment is 21-15-9. You're going to go with a power clean. RX plus you're going to go with 135 or 95. RX is 95 or 65. So you're kind of trying to get through these relatively fast. And then you're going to do ring push-ups if you're RX plus, or regular push-ups if you're RX. This should be a really fast 21-15-9 couplet. So once you get through with that, then I'm calling for a recovery run. If you can't run, then do a row, 2,000-meter row, or a bike. Z1 pace means conversational pace, so it's basically for recovery. It's not necessarily for you to try to increase your lung capacity. This is great for recovery, and also you're burning calories, getting your metabolism going if you're trying to lose any kind of body fat. Wednesday is going to be a gasser. So on the assault bike, you're going to do 4 rounds. It's 30 seconds at a 95% effort for calories. So you're going at 30 seconds, you're pushing. I should hear that fan cranking for 30 seconds. That's a long time. Then for 90 seconds, a minute and a half, you're just pacing. You're just kind of keep moving, keep the blood moving, keep the heart pumping, because you're going to get back on and do another 30-second all-out effort. You're going to do that 4 times. So that's going to be a total of 8 minutes. 30 seconds, a minute and a half. That's 2 minutes. And you're going to repeat that, okay, 4 rounds. After you repeat that, you can get off the air assault, walk around for 5 minutes, okay? Now you're going to get on a rower, and it's the same exact thing. 30 seconds, all, 95% effort, which is pretty much an all-out effort, very close, and then a minute and a half rest. You're going to do that 4 rounds. Then you're going to rest 5 minutes. Do the same. You're going to go back on, do the air assault again, 4 rounds, rest, and then you're going to do the same thing with the row. 4 rounds, then you're done. It's a total of 47 minutes. You're going to think that 5 minutes of rest is going to fly by so quick. Don't go too far. Be careful with this, because this is going to be eye-opening if you do it right, okay? If you don't feel good, just kind of ease back a little bit on your 30-second. It's just about a max effort. 100% effort is, it's almost impossible for a lot of people to actually go 100% for 30 seconds. Literally, I can't do 100% for 30 seconds right now, maybe 15 seconds. So that's going to be the conditioning work for Wednesday. Wednesdays seem to be very popular. Everybody's starting to like Wednesdays. We're building up your aerobic capacity. Thursday, getting back on the back squat, max out. Okay, 90%, 92.5, 95%. These are very important to make sure that you're on top of these percentages, because, like I said, a few weeks we're going to be maxing out. So if these numbers ain't true, you're not going to do as well as you would have if you would have followed the percentages. So build up, make sure you get a good warm-up on these back squats. You should be doing like 4 or 5 warm-up sets before you do these 3 work sets. Then we're going into conditioning, 8 rounds for time. Okay, we're going to have to put a time cap on this because we obviously don't want people to go past a certain amount of time. 8 rounds, 5 clusters. That means from the floor, you're going to pick it up, clean it right into a thruster. Okay, same thing for 5 times. You're going to come back into the thruster. So some people think once you clean it into a thruster, you're doing thrusters. No. Each and every time, you got to put the bar back onto the ground, tap, and go. Okay, RX plus 155 and 105. It's a little heavy. And then RX 95 and 65. That's actually... it's going to be nice. 10 toe to bar if you got toe to bar. If not, modify it. Do 10 leg raises. Then you got the recovery. We're going with the 2,000-meter row at Z1 pace. If you'd rather run, do a mile run. This is meant more for recovery, more for body composition. We're trying to get you to lean out a little bit if you need it. But primarily for you to get the blood moving and try to get your body from being sore or getting a lot of lactic acid buildup. Going into Friday, bench press. 8x3 at 70%, every minute on a minute. With the bench, try to squeeze those shoulder blades underneath your back. Get your back nice and arched if possible. Try to decrease your range of motion. Some of the coaches might be able to show you how to do that. Um, we want you to know how to squeeze your lats. Most of us we benched to try to make our chests bigger for the mirror muscles. But this, for performance wise, when you bench, you want to have a nice solid arch in your back. You want to make sure your shoulders and your glutes are on the bench at all times. You're actually squeezing your butt, squeezing your shoulder blades, trying to get your lats engaged and trying to decrease your range of motion from your lockout. Triceps are a big, they're big. Obviously, you use a lot of tricep work when you do bench press as well. So you may even still be sore from the dips on Monday. All right, conditioning, 20-minute ping pong EMOM. That means you're flipping back and forth every minute on the minute. We did something like this before. It was pretty crazy. But, again, I can't stress it enough. EMOMs are meant for efficiency. So if you're not coming close to hitting the mark on these every minute on a minute, you need to either A, lower the weight, or B, lower the reps. Because you shouldn't be totally smoked. You should actually feel good and feel like each and every repetition is actually efficient and clean. If you start getting sloppy, that's not what we're trying to do here. So odd minute, you're going to do 15 vertical kettlebell swings. RX Plus is 70 and 53. RX is 53 and 35. Trying to say this in a nice way. A lot of people are not getting vertical. They think they are, but they're not. Coaches need to be on you, kind of give you a heads up. They're trying to help you. Don't get upset if they tell you you're still tilted forward, which is more of an American swing. The vertical kettlebell swing is almost like a clean and jerk with a kettlebell, but a close grip, obviously. If you're arcing that kettlebell like you should be in a Russian swing, it's going to be very difficult to put the brakes on the top. So you need to get more into a leg drive, which we tell you not to do. We tell you to get more hip involved in an arc. But with the vertical swings, it's more of a pull punch or a clean and jerk of the kettlebell. Make sure your grip is nice and tight on the top because you don't want the bell to go behind you. And one more thing, guys, when you guys are doing kettlebell swings, please don't drop the kettlebells on the floor. The floor is very thin. There's a lot of rips in the rubber flooring because people are actually dropping the kettlebells on the floor, which, Anyway, so even 30 double unders, RX Plus, 20 double unders, RX. If you're not getting double unders, what I suggest you do is don't worry about it. Just try to practice them for 30 seconds. I don't care if you don't get one. Single jump ropes that's like 1980s, man. You guys should not be doing singles at this point unless there's a protocol for it. You guys need to get those double unders down. Guys and girls. I always say guys, but that's just a figure of speech. So that's it. I hope everybody has a wonderful week of training. And if you have any other questions, just leave a comment or reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to work with you. Thank you. Have a great week.